Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here today with noramonie, a wonderful discovery for Team Cameroon in the past 2 years. In her time representing the indomitable Lions, the green, red, and yellow Cameroonians, she has had 5 international competitions and come back with 4 international medals. We're here today to talk to her, get to know her a bit more, and see what she has planned for the future. Thank you so much for the wonderful introduction. My name is noramonie. I am a discus thrower for Team Cameroon. It's been such a privilege to be on the team. Okay, so let's get right into the interview questions. So, number 1, you have made 2 seasons competing for your country of origin, Cameroon, but you come all the way from the US to do so. Tell us about your initial meeting with Cameroon. So 2 seasons competing for Cameroon, now my country of origin, even though I was born in the US. So, I've known my roots, I've known my culture, but honestly, I'm loving the experience. But yeah, my initial encounter with the Federation of Athletics, even getting in contact with some of the athletes that were performing here was very difficult. Very, very difficult. A lot of things are different. Like for instance, just the use of like Instagram. People don't use Instagram that much here, but I do know I contacted one person in Yaoundé who actually led me to the General Secretary of the Federation of Athletics, and basically from there a relationship grew. Cameroon is glad to have you. Question number 2. In your very first African championship, you were on the podium with the medal. And even in the Islamic Games soon after, you were a great harvest for an athlete who is yet to discover Africa. What is the secret of this type of performance? Yeah, it was a blessing. Like, I was a silver medalist at my first African championships. And then soon after, a couple months after, in August, we went to Konya, Turkey for the Islamic Games, and I was on the podium again. So it's really just a blessing. And I think that there's really only one answer, and my answer is just having good faith. That year for me was, I don't even know how to explain it. Like, it was a challenge, physically, emotionally, mentally, financially. Everything was a challenge, especially because I was coming to a new country, right? Nobody knew what I was able to do, how I was going to be able to perform. And then that year, I also struggled with a severe injury in my hip and like lower back region. Even leading up to the competition, I was only able to train for 3 weeks prior to the African championships. So painkillers for 3 weeks, and then on the day of the competition, I was taking ibuprofen as well. And then it was also raining at the competition, which made the competition that much harder. But yeah, I think that my passion combined with the adrenaline of the meet itself is really what got me to that podium, to be honest. And then just having faith in my own technique, because I wasn't training for a long time, so I had to really trust myself, visualize a lot, and be mentally prepared for the challenge before getting there. But yeah, inevitably, I believe it was my faith that got me through. So this brings us to question number 3. From year to year, you establish yourself as the queen of the discus in Cameroon by beating the Cameroon record, yet you train alone in Cameroon. Are you not uprooted from your regular American routine? Does the Cameroonian environment allow you to work well, especially without a coach, without a staff, etc., etc.? How do you do this by yourself? Tell us. Yeah, I train by myself, but the best thing about my discipline is that all I need is my discus, my shoes, and some space, like an open field to throw, and I'm basically good anywhere around the world. Now, the gym facilities, that's another thing. But here I have good gym facilities, thankfully, and whatever is lacking, if there is anything lacking, we just get creative. You have carpenters all over the place who are willing to work and make anything for you. And to be honest, my type of training is kind of unorthodox. I do a lot of things that have to do with relative strength versus absolute strength, like picking up weights and such. So I use my body weight a lot. and a lot of resistance bands as well. So yeah, a lot of people say my training looks kind of weird. It is kind of weird. We're throwing a 1 kilogram implement, so you know it's probably as heavy as this water bottle right here, even lighter probably. But yeah, I believe that if you don't have the resources but you have creativity, you can basically do anything. So yeah, the medical support that I get here is really good. I have a physiotherapist and his work is really, really good. My body is healthy and I'm able to start every week fresh and more or less every training session fresh. So that's what's really the most important right now at this part of the season. But yeah, training alone is really no problem. After university, I really had to get used to training by myself. I have a technical advisor who's overseas, so I send him my videos basically every day and I consult with him. And then I've had to really learn the discipline itself as well. So I'm a student as well as an athlete. Wow, so I see technology is really powerful. You're sending your videos right from Cameroon all the way to your technical advisor elsewhere, and you're making it happen. Congratulations on that. And of course, it's an individual sport, but it does take a team. So on my team, I have my technical advisor, my general secretary, I have the physiotherapist that I spoke about earlier, and then myself as the athlete, the nutritionist, the person that has to make sure I wake up on time in the morning and go to training. I'm like my own coach, if you will. So Cameroon will be hosting the next African Championships right here in front of your very own home audience. What will be your objective for this competition? Yeah, my objective for every competition is basically the same: to do my best 100% of what I can give on that day. And if that's the best and it brings me the win, then it brings me the win. But I'm not the type of athlete that chases the win. I'm chasing the mastery of the event, the mastery of my physical body. So if I do my best and it comes out on top, like I said, then. And yes, I am looking forward to the adrenaline, the noise, the crowd of the stadium. It's being hosted here in Cameroon. I'm not really sure what part of Cameroon yet, but I hope that it's a great turnout. I hope my family could be there, and I hope for all the support of literally the best fans in the world. Oh, the best fans in the world indeed. Thank you for that answer. All right, last but not the least, you have a rather impressive track record in the few years you've been with Cameroon. African Championships, Islamic Games, and the Francophone Games. You always seem to come back with a medal. This beautiful season ends with your first participation in the World Championships in Budapest. Please, tell us about your experience at the World Championships. Oh, my experience at the World Championships literally was a dream because I did not expect to be there. I knew it was possible, but I didn't really know like how far I can get up in the rankings, because that's what it's about. You have to be top 36 in the world for the World Championships and top 32 in the entire world for the Olympic Games. So yeah, throughout the season, I was fluctuating between number 24 and number 44, just like grazing in between there. So it all boiled down to like the last couple of meets that I had. So the Francophone Games, yeah, that was already past the drop day. So we had until the 1st of July or something like that to make the entries for the World Championships. And then by July 1st, the entries for the Olympic Games 2024 would have started. So yeah, I ended up being number 36 in the world, which got me into the World Championships. And yeah, it was just a blessing to be there. And to be honest, like, I felt a sense of belonging. I felt like all my hard work was not in vain for the season. Of course, it was a great season, and you know, a great past 2 years competing, wearing, you know, green, red, and yellow with Cameroon on my back. But yeah, I think that my biggest takeaway from the World Athletics Championships was, you know, I belonged there, and it was really, really cool to just see how things come around full circle. I was studying the people that I was competing with for so long. So, just to be in the same competition at the same time with those who I literally looked up to, studied their technique for years and years and years, I think that was the best part. That was the dream come true. Wow, Nora, it's been such a pleasure. Thank you so much for sharing with me and sharing with our viewers and wonderful fans as well. Thank you so much as well for your time. I really appreciate it.
Noramonie.